Broadcasting live from the Business RadioX studios in Phoenix, Arizona, it's time for Phoenix Business Radio, spotlighting the city's best businesses and the people who lead them.
So welcome everyone to the LURNIST Show, broadcasting live to you today from the Phoenix Business RadioX studios in Tempe, Arizona. I'm your host, Deborah Hildebrand, and for the next hour or so, we will be talking about education, ed tech, and related topics with our special guests. I also want to take a moment to thank our sponsor, the LURNIST. If you follow me on social media, you know my background is in teaching project management at several universities. So at the LURNIST, I teach how to manage iterative project work like building courses and launching online courses. So you can find out more by going to thelurnist.com. That's TheLurnist.com. So I'm really excited today to have our guest, Christian Nielsen, Chief Product Officer of uQualio, and Erik Francis, author, educator, and founder of Maverik Education on with us. Thank you so much, Christian and Erik, for joining me. So Christian, I've been reading all about uQualio since we booked you on the show. I'm having a lot of fun interacting with you on LinkedIn. You're very active there. So I'm so pleased that you're here today. So why don't you take a moment to introduce yourself to the listeners and share something about yourself, your background, and uQualio.
Thank you very much, Deborah, for having me, and hello to you and Erik. It's a pleasure being here today. I definitely like to talk about education, but let me start out with myself. I'm from a country in Europe called Denmark, and we're a small country, but we are very well known because we're the country of Legos. So I think most of you who have Lego will know that it comes from us. It's like 3 hours away from where I live. There you have the original Lego land. Nice. So I started out doing electrical engineering. I was supposed to do nothing with software at all. But sometimes when you start education, you go through different steps. And I ended up doing software. So I've been doing software all my life in different variations, but always with something where I was either instructing people, teaching people, or training them. Or also back in 2000, before the first IT bubble, I was heading up as a CEO of one of the first e-learning companies in Denmark. And we were like 7 years too early because we had gamification and online gaming and everything, but nobody had a smartphone, so it didn't really work out. That's what happens when you're a little bit ahead of the curve. This took me into different roles in international software development, and very often we ended up with saying, hey, this is the right way to do things, but how come that the people who are sitting like 1 or 2 or 3 places away, and that could be just the floor below you, or it could be in the Ukraine where we had a development center. How come that they didn't do it right? And very often we did out and, process re-engineering. So me and my colleagues, we went out for a tour of the world, and 6 months down the road, we had covered all the geographical places. And suddenly we looked at each other over a cold beer in a business lounge somewhere and said, oh, you know what? Now we need to do everything all over again. Because people have moved on, new employees came in. And this is why when one of my earlier colleagues asked me to join as a co-founder of uQualio, to say, well, this is about learning, it's about making it easy to read stuff and communicate, get the knowledge out fast without too much fuss, and to be honest, HR back office processes, then I jumped on right away. So this is where I am now with my 2 co-founders heading up a small software company, doing a video e-learning platform where we say, well, free the learning, make it easy to create. If you can create a video just like you do on YouTube, well, put it onto our platform and suddenly you get some of the analytics, you get some of the gamification, and also from sort of the back off control, you can see, oh, did Deborah really watch that video? And did Christian really understand the 3 main points of my short 2 minutes video or not? So this is where we are now, and where we are pretty happy with the number of customers in production. But as usual, sales and marketing, now it's not so much product development. So that's why I'm also so active on LinkedIn, as you mentioned earlier, Deborah.
That's fantastic. And anything that can make things easier for us in the e-learning space, we love, right? Great. So Erik, you've been named one of the top 30 educators 2 years in a row. So you went from number 13 into 2019 and number 3 in 2020. So I'm very pleased that you're here today, and I'm excited to talk with you about the different things that you talk about in your book that we've got right here.